I am John Denaro, one of 4 members of Operation Christmas Child, a subcommittee of missions. The other members are Mary Denaro, Rhonda Noble, and Heather Everett. When I was asked to do this, I asked, what do you want me to talk about? And they said, well, talk about some God sightings and talk about how we went about running this Operation Christmas Child during the pandemic. The God sighting, the first one was just when Mary and I were out of ideas on how to organize and promote Operation Christmas Child during the pandemic. Rhonda and Heather offered to be on the committee. Both had great organizational skills and were needed now in our 5th year to continue the Operation Christmas Child ministry. And what I mean is by organizational skills, they set up all the advertising, they did the collection of all the money, they set up all the dates that we were going to have and everything else. So that was a blessing in itself. Now for a little background on how Operation Christmas Child became an outreach ministry at Desert Hills Presbyterian Church. The review should not be a new concept for our friends in Jamaica or Loop, because both have participated in Operation Christmas Child during their visits to Arizona. Another group that has helped are our Boy Scouts that constructed all the box for 2 of those years. And it was a big undertaking because they came in and did 400 boxes each year. We have yet to involve the people in Scotland. So if and when they come to visit us, they can also participate. Now, as a review of what's in the box, let me just show you a little bit here. Here's a cup. Toothbrushes. Toothbrushes are very important. There's writing material. Here's another story that goes with this. A tennis ball. Would you believe that Terra Vita, people that just used the tennis ball a couple times, they turn them in, and we were able to secure these tennis balls. 1,200 of them went out in 5 years. So a big shout out goes to Terra Vita. Also, we're talking about other things. Ivory soap. Ivory soap is something that goes in the box. Ivory soap is sent only because kids have to wash in a stream, and guess what? Ivory soap floats. So that's why we put the ivory soap in there. There's another subcommittee that grew out of this, was formed to knit the washcloths. It was called Chit and Chat Group. The meetings at the church stopped, where the girls were meeting once a week, talking over different stuff and knitting these wash rags. But that didn't stop them. When they was at home, had to stay home, all the boxes continued to go out with wash rags because they were doing them at home. Not sure about if the Chit and Chat continued, but probably hopefully next year that they'll be back to meeting at the church again. Looking back, how Operation Christmas Child got started at Desert Hills Presbyterian Church is loaded with God sightings. Before we got started at Desert Hills Presbyterian Church with Operation Christmas Child, Mary and I met Marcia and Ron Mack on our very first cruise. The next year we went to meet with the Macks to go on another cruise. And Marcia introduced us to Operation Christmas Child. And then Mary saw her knitting and she said, well, I want to do that. Can I knit and send these to you to pack in your boxes? The following year, the Covenant Group needed an outreach program and decided OCC would perfectly fit that and committed to packing 50 boxes. Church leadership became aware of this outreach for the church, and 183 boxes were packed and shipped. The biggest undertaking took place in the 3 years when Marcia suggested that we try to put up in Operation Christmas Child boxes shoes that grow. Prior to that time, we were using flip-flops. Now this is something that the kids can go to school with. And let me show you this thing, how we raised the money and how people responded. These shoes cost $20 a pair, and that went along with what they already put in the box. And that was pretty expensive, but during that period of time, we actually were able to pack 400 pairs of shoes. God gave us these 4 years to develop the OCC program, and this little bump in the road wasn't going to slow us down, especially with the help of Marcia watching what we're doing, and Heather and Rhonda helping us with the advertising and manning the stations and everything else. So that was where we had the things that we were worried about right in the beginning. We had our ups and downs, limited church services where members could pick up boxes. They also could drive up to the drive-in and we handed them boxes because they didn't want to have any contact with anybody else. There's other people that said, hey, you know, we want to participate. We participated in the years before and we'd like to participate now. And then they asked, how can we do that? We bought shoes before. Can we buy another 10 or 15 pairs of shoes to go in the boxes? Sure, we'll have somebody put those shoes in the boxes. Another thing is another group said, well, we just want to write a check out to the church. Can we write a check out to the church to participate in the mailing, the teaching, and the Bibles that is supplied by Samaritan Purse for the $9? Other people gave us packing labels to send the boxes in so they could track them. We can just imagine what joy that these boxes that we've packed here, 1,200 total for the 5 years that we've been packing boxes, and 500 pairs of shoes have brought not only to the children and a whole family over the 5 years, such joy that you cannot believe. We see videos sometimes of these kids opening the boxes. They just can't believe what's in them. The bottom line, what I'm trying to say is that, look, if you seize an opportunity, no matter where it comes from, it might be coming from another church. Seize it, bring it back to your church, bring it back, or our members bring it back to our church, and see what we can do with it, see if it's feasible for us to do it. What we find out that comes out of the box is that just really simple. God loves you, and so do we. That's very important that people understand that God loves them on the complete other side of the earth. And lots of times we get a lot of people coming back and tell them, this box changed my life. So let's continue with this ministry and let's see how many boxes we can pack next year. Thank you.